Welcome to Transformational Wellness Ayurveda Kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite go-to lunch recipes that is light, that is nourishing, and at the same time provides you the complete set of carbohydrates, proteins, and really leaves you feeling uplifted and nourished. This is a millet recipe with vegetables. So let's begin with the most important process, which is calculating 1 cup of millet grains that needs to be thoroughly rinsed with water. So that's what we're going to do right now. So it can slowly leave all the water out. And at the same time, we're going to begin preparing our vegetable foundation. I'm having here a normal skillet pan that is going to serve me. And what is good about it is that it's having this flat surface. So it's a one pot dish, very simple to prepare. And as the saucepan is heating up, we're going to use our source of fat. So I'm using ghee, clarified butter that is used in Ayurveda Wellness Science. However, if you want a plant-based alternative, please use coconut oil. And I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of ghee. Ghee and any other source of oil or fat is our carrier for the spices. Very important before we add anything else to set up this digestive foundation of spices. Okay, so as you can see, ghee is melting. I can move it a little bit around. And we always begin with the spices that are in the whole seed version. Okay, so I'm putting 1 teaspoon of fennel, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. I'm going to wait until they are going to make this juicy sound of roasting in the ghee. So it will take a moment as I begin to chop the vegetables that are going to enter onto the saucepan in the next order. So I'm going to use 1 garlic clove. And garlic is really powerful antibiotic, and we use it especially in the spring season to cleanse the body, to cleanse the liver, and support this bacterial properties. I'm using a big knife. You can take the biggest you have and just smash it with your body weight and then chop it roughly. I can already hear my spices. So now it's the moment that I can add the remaining spices. So cardamom powder, half teaspoon, 1/3 of sumac, 1/3 of teaspoon of freshly grained pepper. Pepper is amazing in springtime. It's also necessary in the whole set of spices because the magical turmeric, in order to activate its very powerful substances, needs pepper, needs all the different spices. So turmeric we're adding at the end, and we're going for generous 1 teaspoon in the springtime. So what you need to be very, very aware of is to check the heat so it's not too high. And then we're going to add our salt. So in Ayurveda Wellness Science, the salt goes together with oil, with spices. And I'm going to add a half teaspoon of salt. Now we're going for some veggies. We have here a piece of fennel bulb. So I'm just going to chop roughly fennel, and you know, as many of the one pot dishes, just go for what you have in your fridge. A good replacement for fennel here could be leek, I'm going to add the garlic and the fennel already to the saucepan and leave it to fry a little bit. The next one I'm going to use is the celery stick, the fresh one. Very light. Celery is perfect for the spring season. Also supports us with digestion and gives this amazing umami flavor. When we're eating plant-based, using those magical umami vegetables and spices it's really important so we can enjoy our food. So we're going to cover this for a moment, allowing a little bit of heat and the water to evaporate. I would say 2 tablespoons of water, and then cover it as fast as you can. Beautiful. Now we can chop that zucchini. So I'm cutting it into half and then kind of like fatty wedges, as I like to call it. Zucchini, it's a really nice light vegetable during the spring season. Very nourishing, a lot of fiber. Ready to add my rinsed millet. It changes a lot the dynamic to the food. Every single grain, it's like a meditation, you know. When there is something left from the grains, just pick them with your fingertips. Yellow, so fresh. Let's just move it with the spoon around. And again, we cover it still without any liquid. It's just for the millet to take the spice taste. And I'm going to move into my roots. So today I'm going to use carrots and Jerusalem artichokes. You can go for whatever you have in the fridge. Cut them into 4, each of them. And then chop into little cubes. When you're cooking your lunch, it's important to keep it under 30 minutes. So I like to make sure that I'm respecting the cooking time of the vegetables, and I cut them accordingly. I'm going to add now our root veggies to bring some color into this dish. We're going to turn on the heat, and now we're going to add the liquids. So, very important with any grains, proportions. We had 1 cup of millet, so we need 1 cup of millet to 1.5 cups of liquids. So, because I am a fan of bringing minerals to our diets, I'm going to add 1 cup of broth, strengthening, cleansing broth that I have prepared the other day, and I have it in the stock in the fridge, and ½ cup of water. Look how beautiful the dish is turning. I'm going to mix everything together to cover it so the heat can be a little bit higher. And now we're going to add cherry tomatoes, or you can add normal tomatoes. So I just chop them into 4s, into those nice wedges, and they're going as well inside our pot. I'm going to add as well today, and you can use many alternatives. So I'm having here a plant-based alternative to minced meat, very natural version. You are also welcome to use tofu, tempeh, or any kind of lentil to bring this nutrient of protein to your dish. And I'm just going to add it here. So feel very free to be creative what source of protein you choose. Beans are also really nice and great during spring season because they're not heavy. Lovely full dish. And the last element that I'm going to add is fresh parsley, but I'm not going to add it right now. We're going to wait about 10 to 15 minutes before we add any greens to our dish, okay? So right now you can cover the pan, you can chop the parsley and have it ready, wild garlic. So in spring season, if you're living in Europe, you can find wild garlic. It begins to come out around mid-March, beginning of April. If you're in the south of Europe, maybe a little bit faster. And this is one of the first greens available in nature. You can also find it on farmer markets. You can also use the dry version, but the idea is to add some greens to our diet that are right now offered by nature. I could talk for hours about wild garlic. The beauty about wild garlic is that it's deeply detoxifying for our liver. It has amazing garlic taste without giving us the garlic breath. So it's just win-win. I love it. So I'm going to rinse it well and then chop it with my parsley. If you don't have access to wild garlic, don't worry. Just find a little bit of spinach to add this green element to our dish. I'm always saying that the rule should be that every single meal you're preparing contains at least a half cup of greens. It's because our liver loves greens, and throughout the year, throughout your life, supporting your liver is crucial for you to keep your body cleansing on a regular basis. Okay, so rather than going on, let's say, a monthly greens diet, we can do it every single day in every single meal, right? That's what matters, those little steps. Okay, perfect. So now this is already boiling. I'm going to really simmer our millet vegetable spring lunch, and we see each other in 10 minutes.